Hello, welcome to a new episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. This week I have a bonus episode for you. I was talking with someone the other day about Sundays and how we spend our time on Sundays. And I was sharing with this person some of the things that I do on Sundays that help me set myself for success for the week. And this person was very intrigued and asked me a few questions. And as I'm having this conversation, I'm thinking to myself, I need to do a podcast around this topic. So that's what I want to talk to you about. What are some of those productive habits to have on a Sunday to set you for a successful week ahead? Let's dig in. Welcome to the Leading Yourself podcast. This is your host, Carolina de Arriba. I'm an HR professional, health and fitness coach, wife, mom, and above all things, a goal-getter. In this podcast, we're going to be digging into all things leadership, professional and career development, habits, and relationships. This is a podcast for those who want to become the best version of themselves. Those who have big dreams and are willing to embrace the journey and put in the work to achieve them. My goal is to share with you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you in your journey. So let's dig into today's episode. Let me ask you something. Are your Mondays chaotic? Do you wake up on Mondays dreading the day, the start of the week, feeling tired and stressed? If that is you, this episode is for you. If you want to have a successful week, you need to set it up right. That's my firm belief. You need to prepare and plan for it. You need to be thoughtful and thorough about it because how you spend your time matters. And I personally have learned that Sundays are incredibly useful, but highly underutilized by many people. As I was saying on the introduction of the podcast, I was talking with someone the other day and I recognize that maybe the way I'm spending Sundays is not the way other people are spending Sundays. And a lot of times when I look back, right, a few years ago, my Sundays were laying on the couch, watching TV all day because I was so tired, so drained. I had no energy and I had no desire to do anything on Sundays. But over the years, I have established a series of habits that I do on Sundays that help me set myself up for a successful week ahead. I'm not suggesting that you adopt all these same habits, but my hope with this episode is that you find inspiration to identify what habits you need to implement that will help you have a successful week ahead. So here are my Sunday habits. The first one is I spend time on Sundays planning the week ahead. I spend anywhere between 45 to 60 minutes just planning the week ahead. Sundays, and when I say planning my week, I cover many areas of my life in this process, right? I believe that you need to look at your life and your time holistically because you are one person after all, right? It's not like you can clone yourself and one of you goes to work and another copy of you takes care of things at home, right? We are one person and the day only has 24 hours. And if we want to live a centered life, we need to account for all areas of our lives. And I think that living a centered life, or what other people call work life balance, is all about, for me at least, having clear priorities across all the areas in your life and prioritize your time in alignment with those priorities so you can feel fulfilled in across all those priorities, across all those areas in your life. So when I'm planning my week ahead, I plan things related with work. I check my appointments, I move things around in my calendar so my calendar matches my priorities during the week as much as possible. It's not always perfect, but I am very intentional on aligning my calendar with the priorities for the week. I also block time just to work on my priorities and, projects and tasks. Otherwise, I can just be jumping from meeting to meeting and leave the day feeling that I haven't accomplished anything or made any progress towards any of my priorities. I also planned things around my kids. So my husband and I, we plan and decide who is going to drop the kids and pick them up every day from school. We check if we have any school commitments or extracurricular activities that we need to get the kids to or attend ourselves. I also plan the meals. Um, I try to be very intentional about what I eat. My health is one of my top priorities, and I have learned that in order to stay on track, planning my meals ahead of time and being intentional when I go grocery shopping are key for my success to, again, stay on track and eat healthy. So planning my meals really helps me to be more efficient and more effective when grocery shopping. I'm able to save some money, helps me to eat healthier during the week, and it saves me a ton of time during the week and reduces the stress of trying to figure out what am I going to make to for lunch or dinner today or the next day. I also plan my workouts. So I schedule my workouts. I decide at what time I'm going to work out and what workouts I'm going to do the next week. I also schedule and plan personal development. This is another of my key priorities. So I'm very intentional about scheduling time daily to invest in my personal development. And lastly, household. So I make sure that I plan ahead for any household related stuff, any deep cleaning around the house, paying bills, housework or projects that need to be taken care of. I know that this might seem like a lot, and it is. But to be fair, I have a lot going on. There is a lot of moving pieces in this puzzle. And even though, it might feel like a pain to spend 45 to 60 minutes on a Sunday getting my life in order, the benefit that I gain from having that level of clarity and organization throughout my week far exceeds the annoyance of having to sit down and do this every Sunday. Additionally, because things change right throughout the week, I also run through this process again each day. Now, on a daily basis, I only spend 5, maximum 10 minutes in the morning just looking at my calendar, looking what it's coming, readjusting anything that needs to be readjusted, and identifying my top priorities for the day. If you've been listening for a while, you know that one practice that I have as part of my morning routine is to write down on a post it note my 3 non negotiables for the day. So that's kind of my daily planning and how it looks, but it all links back to this investment that I make on Sundays to plan the week ahead. The second habit that I have adopted on Sundays is investing time in getting ready for the week ahead. So after planning my week, I take some time to actually get ready for the week ahead. For me, that can look like go grocery shopping and stocking up on healthy foods for the entire week. Meal prepping. I don't know. I don't do a lot of meal prepping. Like I don't prep entire meals, but I do some meal prep that just makes it easier to put meals together, especially lunches for the week. I also leave my workout clothes ready on Sunday night. So on Monday morning, when I wake up, is there in front of me when I wake up, ready to go, so I can go get my workout done. I also leave my kids' clothes for the next day ready so I'm not caught up on the chaos of Monday morning. I pack my kids' backpacks and make sure that they're ready to go next day in the morning. I refill our water bottles and have them ready to grab and go next morning. Make sure that we charge our laptops and electronics that we're going to need the next day. And for us, Mondays is garbage day. So we actually take the garbage out on Sunday night so we don't have to worry or stress about it next morning. So my invitation to you is think about what can you do on Sundays that will make Monday mornings go smoother for you. Habit number 3, learn something new. I am personally very passionate about learning new things. I'm curious in nature, and personal growth is one of my priorities. So I have found out that investing time in learning something on Sundays help me set the tone for the rest of the week. Also, in the day is the day that I have more time and more flexibility to set time aside for learning and personal growth. So, my tip here is find something that interests you and dive in. It doesn't matter what it is as long as you find it interesting. And as you continue to explore, so will your excitement for learning grow, right? In turn, you'll discover new ways to challenge yourself and to grow. You can then use that excitement as fuel to launch yourself enthusiastically into the upcoming week. Habit number 4, self reflection. This is one of my favorite things to do on Sundays. Reflect on the week. Why? Well, because Sundays are a great day for reflection. With the week now being, behind you and the next week fast approaching, I ask myself a series of questions like what things went well this week? What did I accomplish this week? What did I learn this week? What challenges did I face? What can I learn from those challenges and what can I do differently next week? So I see Sundays as time for reflection and growth, as an opportunity to carve time out that I can utilize for introspection and contemplation. Habit number 5, clean and organize the house. When it comes to preparing for the week, I always make sure that I have a nice, clean working area ready to go. If I work in an environment that is organized, it allows me to better focus. So I try to take the time to clean my desk, my working area, organize everything, leave everything ready for the next day. By organizing your workspace ahead of time, you will set yourself up to have a more focused week. And more importantly, you won't be scrambling to get organized during the chaos of Monday. Beyond cleaning and organizing my working space, Sundays are the days that we clean and organize the house. We do laundry, we tidy up. To be honest, during the week, it's hard to find the time to keep things clean. So we do the basics during the week, but any major cleaning that happens on the weekends. Habit number 6, spend quality family time. Sundays for me are prime family time. During the week, while we try to spend as much quality time as we can, everyone is running to work, school, homeworks, getting things ready for the next day. The amount of time that we have to be together is limited. So we are very intentional about spending more quantity and quality of time together on Sundays. And this might look different every Sunday. Some Sundays we're out and about doing fun activities together. Other Sundays we're laying down, staying home, watching movies. Habit number 7, connect with your faith. Regardless of what you believe in, no matter what your faith or your religion looks like, I think that as life slows down a little bit on Sundays is a great opportunity to make sure that you're making time to connect with your faith. For me, that looks like going to mass or praying or, you know, connecting with the community. Habit number 8, spend quality me time. You are the most important person in your life. Let me repeat this for the ones sitting on the back. You are the most important person in your life. It took me some time to process that, but once I did, it was such an eye opening, right? Like, I can't be the best wife, the best mom, the best leader, the best colleague, the best friend, the best daughter if I'm not the best me first. So, for me, spending some quality time with myself is a priority. And I do this on a daily basis. And this looks like my morning routine. That is my me time every day. But on Sundays, I try to be very intentional and have some of that quality time. For me, that can be like the reflection that I was talking about earlier. Maybe it is taking a yoga class or taking a long bath or something that helps me relax and recharge so I'm ready to tackle the week ahead. Habit number 9, stretch and move. If you've been following along, you know that I am a fitness enthusiast and that I work out every single day of the week. But Sundays, I like to take it easy. So you can say that Sundays are my rest day. That being said, I do still do something like stretching or foam rolling or doing a yoga class or go for a recovery walk. This helps me, let go of the stress while improving my mobility and helps my body recover and get ready to start all over again the next day with my workout routine. Finally, habit number 10, go early to bed. It might be tempting to stay late on Sundays, but for me, going to bed early is a must. Getting at least 8 hours of sleep on Sunday is a non negotiable. That helps me wake up refreshed and ready to conquer the week ahead. I recently interviewed Dr. Michael Bruce, who is known as the sleep doctor, and we talk a little bit about sleep, the chronotypes, the impact to your energy and productivity. And one thing that stuck with me is that consistency with your sleep is key. So keeping those, times at which you go to bed and you wake up consistent. And when I say consistent, is like all 7 days of the week. Like a lot of times, um, you know, if someone asks you, do you have consistent sleeping patterns? And most people will say yes. And then the next question would be, what about weekends? And then we're like, oh, no, weekends look different, right? So if you stay late on Sundays, it's going to be harder to wake up refreshed on Monday. So for me, if I'm going to stay late watching a movie or doing whatever, I try to do that on Fridays and Saturdays, but Sundays, it's non negotiable. I go to bed at 9 p.m. so I can wake up at 5 a.m. the next day, get going with my morning routine, and have a good start of the week. Okay, those are my 10 productive habits that I do on Sundays. Again, I'm not sharing this to say these are the things that you need to do if you want to set yourself for a successful week ahead, but I hope that you found inspiration in today's episode that prompts you to think about what habits can you implement on Sundays that are going to help you be the most productive and energized during the week. And with that, I'm going to ask you a big favor. If this podcast episode was helpful, do me a favor and share it with a friend. Like right now, go ahead and send them the link. And go to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. That really helps to get the visibility of the podcast out there. And that being said, I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you here again for another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast.